Okay. So this is going to be, I don't know what it's going to be, but it feels right now that it's going to be a really tough thing to do, a really tough thing to get off my chest. And I know that if I don't do it now, I probably won't do it at all. So it's made tougher by the fact that I'm feeling very, very exposed. I'm not wearing any makeup. I did find some lip gloss to throw on, so my lips are a little bit shiny at least. But as this video may never even see light of day, it was funny to me that that even held me back. And it has taken me about 20 minutes of sitting and thinking about this to even get to this point. So yes, this is feeling really rough for me right now. And I was invited to take on a challenge, invited to take on a process, all part of my constant quest to be able to really understand what this thing called life is all about, and really play with the power that I know is inherent, that I know is the birthright. But I'm still only scratching a minutia of the surface that it takes to be able to really experience and embody this power, this truth of whom it is that we are. It's been 1 minute 49 and all I'm doing is filling airtime because I'm still very nervous about doing this, about expressing. We'll see what comes out. And so so I've been called upon to share that thing which I most don't want people to know about me, that thing that is that deep part of identity, persona, that is like really, really buried down at the pit of my gut. And I'd made it, set the intention, I'd made the promise, I'd said I'm gonna go through this process as designed. And so here I am, taking on board this challenge. And the idea is that you're sharing something that is, like I said, you don't want anyone to know this about you, and it is a big part of how you operate in the world. So I am selfish. I am selfish. I am selfish. This is something that was lobbied at me about a year ago by a person close to me, and it has done nothing but had me reeling ever since. Because it's, you know, who wants to be told that they're selfish, right? Who wants to be told that this is, you know, it's to be told that you're selfish is to, it's a way of being that we all work really hard to escape from, right? You're a very bad person if you are a selfish person. And it was something that rocked me so much, this idea of being told that I'm selfish. Not the idea of being told that I'm selfish, the happening. I was told I was selfish, and it rocked me so much, like my whole body broke out into a massive rash. You know, like it was a massive rash. It was a massive outbreak of eczema all over my body, because I'd been sitting with this upset for months. I am selfish. Okay, so what does that mean? I don't know. I still haven't really come to the bottom of it, but I know that it was something that really rocked my core, and it was like being seen in a way that I was like, no, you're not supposed to know that. You're not supposed to know that. And here's the thing. Yes, I am selfish, but it's deeper than that. It's not just I am selfish. It is on I am selfish sits on top of, why is it never about me? Now, this is something else from doing lots and lots of work that came to me the other day. Because the fact that you have I am selfish walking hand in hand with why is it never about me, I hope that you'll be able to see that this is not just about, you know, a person who was always thinking about themselves. It's really not that, because that is not who I am. I'm not somebody who's always thinking about myself. But when I have these complaints, that's there, that's deep at the core, right? And it causes me to be a certain way. And part of that way of being, and by the way, this is about being a certain way that is not who it is that I am, my true identity, my true being, my true self, right? This is about showing up in a way to hide what's going on, what's really going on that's there, all right? So in actual fact, it is, you know, sacrificing a lot for others so that they don't see how selfish I am. It is about, you know, always doing as much as possible for others so they don't see how selfish it is that I am. It is about, you know, working to be that nicest individual that I can be so they don't see how selfish I am. So that's the ways in which I am selfish show up in, I suppose, a very positive way, right? And very helpful, giving to, you know, always, you know, like, I always feel really bad if I don't have money to give away to people who are asking for it, and I'll always try and find a way to give money to people who are asking for it, whilst also complaining about the fact that I have no money, by the way. But you know, the idea of being a bad person, of not being a good person, is these, it acts out so that I can demonstrate how unselfish I am. And then my selfishness acts out because it has to be put out into the world, because it's there, right? It's really there. So how am I? So then I am selfish is exhibited in other ways. I'm selfish with my time. I'm selfish with my presence. I'm selfish with my love. I love that line that Beyonce has in that Alien Superstar. She goes, I'm stingy with my love. I'm like, yes, I know that one. That is me. I am stingy with my love. I'm selfish with my love. I'm selfish with my patience. Let me put some more meat onto these bones. So selfish with my time, like just really not wanting to give my time to people in a way that that I keep myself, you know, to myself a lot. You know, I live by myself. I don't have partners. I don't have children. I don't even have little people that I hang out with, right? I don't like putting things into a diary so that I can even spend time with people. Like, and I'll dress that up like, you know, I want to be free and be able to just do whatever happens, you know, as it comes along. I don't want to be constrained by diarizing my time. But really, when you think about it, go into it, that is a way of being selfish with my time, because then if I haven't committed to it, then I don't have to do it. Something else can easily come and knock it off the pillar in that moment. So there was there was just no commitment there for anybody or anything else until, you know, that super last minute, because I don't want to give in that way. I want to be selfish with my time. And so so that's how it can show up. I don't know that I need to spend lots of time going into the impact perhaps on others, or that's probably another bit of selfishness showing up there. Oh my God, this is horrific. Okay, yeah. Selfish with my money. I hate to pay my bills. I hate paying my bills. I have no issue taking myself out for dinner. I have no issue doing takeaways. I have no issue signing up for programs. No issue buying the books that I want to buy. I have no issue taking myself up to the movies. I have no issue taking myself out for posh drinks when I go out for posh drinks. But paying my bills, I really hate to do that. That feels like I've had something taken away from me that I want to keep for myself. So yeah, that creates I guess an irresponsibility, and then it leads to other problems because you haven't paid the bills, and then you get fines for not paying the bills, and could all have been avoided if you weren't so busy being selfish with your own stuff, I guess. So there's that. I did get told once that I was selfish because I didn't have children. I mean, I feel like you can debate that point. You can debate that point. Who's to say I would have been a great mother? But yeah, they were like, you're selfish because, you know, you're not helping to repopulate the planet. There's repopulating a planet that's got a lot of people on it already. I don't know how selfish that is, but I was told that I was selfish for not having children, and I can actually totally appreciate the other side of that. So okay, I'm willing to take that on board. But let's remember that I am selfish is on top of why is it never about me. So there is a deep belief that I have in my being and in my identity, that I have to be selfish because nobody else is considering me in the way that I want to be considered, that it is never about me. Okay, so here's what I learned about it's never about me. It's never about me can show up as me all the time, always making it about me. Oh, God, yeah, this is insidious. Okay. And I want to begin because of something that happened to me the other day, with something that I used to wear very proudly because it was something I was taught. When I was young, I remember my dad saying to me, if somebody comes to the school to give a presentation, always have a question, always have a question. There are no stupid questions, so always have a question, always engage, always partake, always have something to say. And I really thought that was great advice, and so I always have a question, I always have something to say. And it was called out to me in very, very blunt terms, because I was in a program and I raised my hand and I got called out in the program to share whatever it was I had to share, and what I had to share was all about me, like totally took away from the experience that was needed for the whole of the collective. I obviously in the moment I didn't realize that's what I was doing, but when it was shown up to me very with nowhere for me to go, I had to take it on that, okay, that's what I was doing. And where did that come from? Oh, there's a part of me that I don't know that I was really aware of prior to that point. So yeah, it can look like being overly confident to disguise that you're not confident at all. It can look like, and I'm talking about, what am I talking about again? I'm talking about, why is it never about me? So it can look like interrupting people when they're speaking. I'm a really big interrupter. And that's something I genuinely loathe about myself. I really, really do. I'm always like, oh, the person wasn't finished speaking yet. Why are you talking? Yeah. It can look like, my best friend is always saying this to me, it's not about you. And I would always jokingly say, it's always about me. Everything is about me, because I make it about me, because I feel like deep down inside it's never about me. So my point is that there's a wounding that's there, right? There's a wounding that's there that has created a belief that I'm trying to overcompensate for in my being. So the irony of all that it is that I'm sharing is that to be selfish is neither good nor bad. It's simply what is. And sometimes, really sometimes, being selfish is absolutely the right way to be, is absolutely the right thing to occur. And then there's absolutely sometimes where it is not the right way to be, it's not the right thing to occur. Everything is polarity, right? Everything is a side of a coin. And that's why it's about balance. That's why it's about balance. So I'm not sure what more there is for me to say about this at this time. Perhaps I expect there to be an unraveling of sorts, or maybe there'll be nothing at all. I don't know. Maybe more will be revealed. Maybe there'll be nothing more revealed. But in my quest to be able to come from nothing other than who I am at soul level, to be able to come from nothing more than love, from nothing more than openness, from nothing more than my heart, I am taking on this challenge. I'm saying this again just to, reestablish why I'm even making it all about me for the best part of 20 minutes. This is where we are right now. There's a point to this, there's purpose to this. It's not all been revealed to me yet, so I'm just going through the process. And so the level of humiliation I feel right now is very, very high. Yes, it is. It's very high. And that's the point. I don't know if this is like a, break them down to build them up kind of thing. But I got to tell you, right now, it feels like, my heart feels like it's pounding in my chest because I've revealed this part of myself that is not something that I ever would want to express myself. It might even be something that people already know. It's amusing to me sometimes when I witness myself, especially when I'm in session with a client. I'm just like, is this not the client session? Why are you still talking? You have dominated this conversation, right? And is it not meant to be about them? And I have to really row back sometimes myself. So just in witnessing myself. So again, that's why is it not all about me and being selfish, right there front and center. Even when I'm in my joyous place, working with people, working with my clients, to have them express and experience their best selves. So, I suppose what I'll say to you on that score is get ready, because this is going to be an exercise that I add to my practice, that I add to my training for my clients to go through. Well, we'll see what happens on the other side, but for sure, without doubt, knowing whom it is that you are and really being able to face whom it is that you have created, the identity that you've created, that you're pulling out into the world, is part of the process of being able to get to that space where you can truly be your very, very best self, where you can truly be coming from nothing but heart, nothing but whom you are at soul level. And this is what I'm interested in. And so this is why I put myself through this. So we've all got our something, right? But what's the truth of it? There's the thing.